Hello, Marvel fam. Welcome to episode of Marvel Talk with your host
Nick
and Chris. And we got some great news to talk with you all about tonight.
So
today,
because we did just pick up some comics, which you can go check out on TikTok in the description down below, because that is where we've been doing our Comic Book Wednesdays. So feel free to check those out. But yesterday, Marvel and DC have announced, and the article will tell you that confirmed this today, that announced it, are doing more collaborations together. It has been a very long time since Marvel and DC have done crossover comics. And this one is actually pretty crazy. It's Deadpool versus Batman. That's crazy in on its own. So, Christopher, will you show them the article, please?
All right, so
show them the whole thing before we start to read it, everything.
Okay.
There we go. This was contained yesterday. This was the actual reporter that you see right there, and the actual publishers that confirmed this and announced it yesterday. Holy shit! Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's super crazy.
Yep.
So we're gonna go over the article and sum it up for you guys and tell you all, in case if you missed it, if you haven't been on social media, if you are on social media and this is new for you, well, here we go. So Christopher, the floor is yours. Tell them and then we'll discuss.
All right, so back in February at a Comics Pro panel held in Glendale, California, the editors-in-chief of Marvel and DC revealed they were quietly assembling something they haven't pulled off in more than 2 decades, a crossover event. So from time to time, going as far back as 1976 with the arrival of Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. Yes. The big 2 comic brands have been known to bring their superhero titans together for their kind of convergence that their cross-pollinating fan bases crave. The last time they did this was in 2003, when Justice League of America and Avengers kicked off a comic book arc that played out into the following year. But there hasn't been a collaboration of this magnitude since. So, and quoting a Dan Buckley, the president of Marvel Comics and franchise, explains to Entertainment Weekly, a lot of things have to align. And mostly we plan our editorial schedule pretty far out. DC does their schedule pretty far out. You want to have the right talent involved, because with this type of thing, you want to elevate it as much as you can to get people excited. And Jim Lee, the president, chief creative officer, and publisher for DC Comics, echoes similar sentiments in a separate chat over Zoom, noting how DC typically works 2 to 3 years in advance. It happens kind of once every generation of readers. I'll leave you to draw your own conclusion as to why, he comments. The timing has to be right in that you don't want to do these too often. You want them to feel special. It is sort of finding that right moment for both companies to come together because it is complex. There's a lot more coordination, collaboration, approvals that have to be done right. And obviously, from the business side, you're sharing revenue, but it's going to be a big deal. So you want the story creatively to warrant the hype of it all. The time to reveal the next crossover is finally here. Deadpool meets Batman.
And this is one of the covers. We will have the alternate cover as our thumbnail for the video, so don't worry about that. We will have the official one. This is just one of the alternate ones. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna say. If you would like to read more, just go to Entertainment Weekly, and they'll take it up from there.
Yeah, again, here's the title.
So if you want to keep reading from there, but that's summing it up, and this is where we have to start talking about this, because it's very true what he said. These things do have to take time. There's a lot to go by. It's just in the industry in general. It's not just comic books, it's video games, it's movies. Things do take time to come together and kind of make everything good. And they are going to be sharing revenue. And, you know, Disney and WB seem to be having a very good relationship lately. For Fortnite, for example, they had the, I'm going to talk a little off topic here, but they had Big Hero 6, which is a Disney product, with the Monsterverse, which is owned by WB, in the same battle pass and season in Fortnite. So that's pretty much a big deal. And, you know, they have just been collaborating. They've seemed to be pretty good. You know, they worked with, you know, the companies have worked together, like Roger Rabbit. They had, like, you know, Looney Tunes stuff in there. And now that, you know, WB owns DC and Disney owns Marvel, this is kind of something that we didn't think was ever going to really happen. you know. So this is kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is, how do you feel about this? Because
this is very exciting.
Out of all the characters, they're choosing, you know, Deadpool and Batman.
And it's funny because how in the Deadpool movies, he has mentioned Batman before.
Yeah, and the DC universe. You come from the...
It's so dark. You're sure you're not
from the DC universe?
And then, of course, the mask is very intimidating. It's like Batman, except you can move his neck.
Oh, and let's not forget the shit fucks down the street.
Yeah.
So, you know, it feels right. The crossover feels right. I love how it was first with Spider-Man and Superman, and now it's Batman and Deadpool. And I feel like they're going to be doing a lot of these. This is probably going to do so well. They're probably going to do more of them for sure. And it's very exciting. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be very exciting. This is a very big deal and a huge W for both brands. And hopefully we see more in the future. Hopefully this does well. Hopefully the story's excellent. There's going to be 2 one-shots like they used to do. Like how they did Spider-Man and Batman, and then that Batman and Spider-Man. In fact, maybe we'll do a book club on that. I do have both of them. So maybe we can, you know, I can give you them and you can read them. And, you know, because I already read them. So we could probably do a book club on that to get ready for that.
All right.
But yeah, I also have the complete issue of the Marvel vs. DC. Not the omnibus, but just like the main story, not like everything else. So, you know, and then they did announce that as well. I think like last year they announced that they were going to be doing the omnibus of Marvel versus DC.
I think so.
Let us know in the comments down below. That because I do remember them announcing that, and I thought that was such a huge deal. So I thought that was a huge deal, because that's just something you don't normally get. So this is very exciting, and hopefully we get more. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hopefully this leads to more fun comic stuff and collabs, and yeah. So yeah, guys, we just wanted to keep you guys in the loop and let you know. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. And our next video will be tomorrow. Unfortunately, we were supposed to do a Rivals video, but I have been having trouble editing videos lately. They've just been taking way too long. So I'm going to be working around the clock to make sure this gets out tonight. And I'll be working around the clock to make sure that the Marvel Rivals video gets out before the patch, before the update on Friday. So yes, so thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. All our other stuff is in the description down below. Feel free to give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 150 by the end of the year. Instagram
is 200.
Yep. And nothing for TikTok yet, but still consider following. And when we get more, we'll talk more about that. So yes, thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and Excelsior. Happy Comic Wednesday.